Most new real estate investors think the best deals come off of Zillow or the MLS, but that's not where the best deals are. The best BRRRR properties come from problems. Property problem, financial problem, or a life problem. If a house is clean, updated, and marketed perfectly, the deal is already gone. In this video, I'm going to show you how investors actually locate BRRRR properties before the rest of the market ever sees them. Before we get started, do me a favor, take a second to like the video, subscribe to the channel, hit that notification bell so you do not miss future real estate investment checklists. I am Bud Evans. I spent 35 years in the Air Force as an officer, 13 years as a police officer. I also served as the mayor of Cinnaminson, New Jersey. And today, I'm an active real estate investor focused on single-family and small multifamily rentals. I mentor veterans who want to build wealth through real estate, and I founded a low-cost investor-focused property management company that helps owners protect and grow their rental portfolios. So, let's start with the first principle of finding BRRRR deals. Yes, you can look on Zillow, but a BRRRR opportunity almost always exists because something's broken. There are usually three things that create those opportunities: property condition, the seller situation, or a lack of market exposure. Property condition is the easiest one to understand. The house just needs work. It may have outdated kitchens, deferred maintenance, a bad roof, or mechanical issues. Retail buyers want move-in ready houses. Investors want houses that need those repairs because that creates forced appreciation. The second category is the seller's situation. Look, life happens. People pass away, people get divorced, people move jobs. Sometimes landlords get tired of tenants or maintenance calls or vacancies or managing the property altogether. These situations create sellers who value simplicity and speed more than squeezing out every dollar. The third category is lack of market exposure. A lot of good deals exist simply because the property was just never properly marketed. Sometimes the listing photos are terrible. Hello, iPhone users. Sometimes the property is vacant and the owner doesn't know what to do or how to sell it. Sometimes the property just never hits the market at all. If none of these three things exist, it's probably not a good BRRRR opportunity. Let's talk about one of the most common tools that investors use, and that is Zillow. The mistake most people make with Zillow is they search for, perfect houses. That is exactly what you should not be doing. Instead, you want to search for distressed stuff, distressed listings. Start by filtering for single-family homes in the lower price range of the market. Look for properties that have been sitting for 30 days or longer, and pay attention to listings that have had multiple price reductions. That's simple. Then read the descriptions carefully. When you see phrases like as is, needs TLC, investor special, or handyman opportunity, those are signals that the property is going to need work. That's where the forced appreciation can exist. Also, pay attention to poor listing photos. If the pictures are dark, cluttered, or incomplete, usually means the property is not really being marketed very well. When something is marketed poorly, fewer buyers are going to compete for it. The next strategy is one of the oldest methods in real estate, and it still works today. That strategy is driving for dollars or door knocking. Driving for dollars simply means you physically look for distressed properties in your neighborhood. These are houses that clearly show signs of neglect. You might see overgrown grass or boarded windows or hanging gutters or mail piling up. Sometimes the house is just clearly vacant. When you find one of these houses, the next step is identifying the owner. There are several tools that can help you with this. You can use something like Deal Machine or PropStream and Batch Leads. Not affiliated with those, but they do work. These tools allow you to look up ownership records and sometimes even provide the appropriate contact information. The reason this strategy works is simple. Many of these owners have never been approached by an investor. They may be waiting for someone to reach out and solve their problems. Another powerful source of BRRRR deals is probate and estate properties. When someone passes away, the property often transfers to their heirs. Those heirs may live in another state. They may not want to manage repairs or deal with selling the house that needs work. In many cases, they just simply want to offload that property, convert it to cash, and move on. These properties frequently need updates and repairs, and that creates opportunities for investors. Probate records are public. If you can find them at your county probate court, or estate filings typically list the executor of the state and sometimes the property address. Once you identify the property, you can reach out to the executor and offer to purchase the property. Another long-term strategy is building a relationship with it. These attorneys regularly work with families who inherit homes. They specialize in probate. So when the property needs work or the heirs want a quick sale, attorneys appreciate having a reliable person that they can refer. Pre-foreclosure properties are another source of deals. Pre-foreclosure happens when a homeowner falls behind on their mortgage payments and the lender begins the foreclosure process. A lot of homeowners in this situation will prefer to sell the property before foreclosure is finalized. Selling can protect their credit and sometimes allow them to keep some equity. These filings are public records. In a lot of states, you will see a document called lis pendens, which indicates that foreclosure proceedings have already started. There are tools that compile this data, but the information ultimately comes from county record. Depending on your county, they may be difficult to find. Tax delinquent properties are another strong lead source. When owners stop paying property taxes, it often signals financial distress. Many of these properties also have deferred maintenance because the owner just doesn't have the resources to maintain the property. Most counties will maintain a list of tax delinquent properties. These lists can be obtained through the county treasurer or the tax collector, and sometimes they're online. In some counties, they're free, and others, you may have to pay a small fee. Another source of deals is wholesalers. Wholesalers specialize in locating distressed properties and placing them under contract. Then, they assign those contracts to people like us, investors. Building relationships with wholesalers can create a consistent flow of potential deals. Not all of them are perfect, but you can just call them and try to negotiate. You can meet wholesalers through real estate meetups, investor groups, and local networking events. Property managers are usually overlooked sources of deals. Property managers deal with landlords every day. They know which owners are frustrated with tenants, maintenance issues, and management headaches. Some of those owners eventually just want to get out. Contractors are also excellent sources of information. Contractors often see distressed houses before investors do. They may start repair projects for owners who later decide that they can't finish the renovation or they run out of money. In those cases, the owner sometimes decides selling is easier than continuing the project. Another group worth targeting is an absentee owner. These are landlords who don't live near the property. Maybe they're out of state or maybe they're just in a different county. A lot of them have owned properties for years and have built significant equity. A lot of them will just eventually decide that they're ready to exit the business due to age or some other reason. Data services like PropStream and Batch Leads allow investors to identify absentee owners and reach out to them directly. Across all of these strategies, one principle will remain the same. Real estate deals come from relationships. The more people you know who buy distressed properties, the more opportunities are going to come your way. Before purchasing any BRRRR property, you need to confirm 3 basic things. First, the purchase price has to be below market value. I look for 65%. Second, the repairs have to increase the value of the property. Third, the rental income has to support the refinance loan after the property is stabilized. If the refinance doesn't work, the BRRRR strategy breaks down and you leave money in the deal. New investors often make 3 major mistakes when looking for deals. Write these down. The first mistake is relying entirely on online searches. A lot of the best deals, most of them actually, are off-market. The second mistake is waiting for deals instead of creating them. Successful investors actively search out distressed situations. The third mistake is ignoring relationships. Most deals come from referrals through investors, contractors, and professionals you know that are buying. The investors who consistently find BRRRR properties are not lucky. They simply just understand where distressed properties exist. Distress creates opportunity. If you learn where to look and build the right relationships, you're going to start seeing deals that most people just walk by. Hey, look, if you're a military veteran and you want to learn more about building wealth through real estate, take a look at the War Room with David BRRRR. It's a community built specifically for veterans who want to grow in real estate. And if you want more training like this, make sure you like the video, subscribe to the channel, and hit that notification bell. Thanks for watching. I'm Bud Evans. Aim high, execute fast. See you on the next one.